Vicious, bloodthirsty, dangerous, monster. These are just a few of the terms thrown around every single day about my baby girl Nova. Why? Because Nova's breed is the number one breed abused every single year, the number one breed in shelters, the number one breed euthanized, and the number one breed discriminated against by breed-specific legislation. What is Nova's breed, you may ask? A pit bull. Today, I am going to be talking about BSL, or breed-specific legislation. First, I will go over what exactly breed-specific legislation is. Then, I will cover the two opposing sides of BSL, those who support it and those who do not. And after this, I will give a brief history of breed-specific legislation laws in certain areas and why they lead me to my conclusion that BSL should be outlawed. So to begin with, what exactly is BSL? BSL, or breed-specific legislation, is any law or local ordinance that regulates dog ownership based on the breed of the dog alone. Usually, these laws target breeds that have a reputation or so-called propensity for being vicious or aggressive. A number of breeds have been restricted or banned, including Rottweilers, Pit Bulls, Chow Chows, German Shepherd Dogs, Doberman Pinschers, and the list is ever growing. So, what exactly are the two opposing sides to BSL? On the one hand, we have the people who are pro-BSL, and on the other hand, we have the people who are anti-BSL. Firstly, those who are pro-BSL. People who support BSL claim that this legislation will reduce the number of dog attacks resulting in severe injuries or deaths every single year. It's also suggested by the supporters of BSL that BSL will limit the ownership of these breeds from people who just want to own intimidating dogs. However, by outlawing the ownership of certain so-called dangerous breeds, it is also thought by the supporters of BSL that all future dog attacks will be prevented. Now, on the other hand, we have people who are anti-BSL. Opponents of BSL respond to the BSL supporters by stating that there is little to no evidence that such laws actually reduce the number of dog bites or attacks each year. They also claim that these laws often use the appearance of a dog alone to support the ban, which means that mixed breed dogs that resemble any of the targeted breeds can be confiscated and euthanized just for their appearance. The most critical argument that the opponents of BSL put forth, however, is that bad dog behavior is more often than not the result of irresponsible dog owners rather than the breed of the dogs themselves. So, by banning the breed of dog, the focus on the dog is much stronger than the focus on the bad owner. Now, going into a brief history of BSL. In 1980, Hollywood, Florida City Commissioner put into place an ordinance which meant that people who owned pit bull breed dogs had to pay $25,000 for public liability insurance. In 1984, a New Mexico town completely banned pit bulls altogether and allowed county officers to confiscate and euthanize the dogs at their will. Also that year, Cincinnati, Ohio enacted a regulation that defined vicious dogs to include all pit bull terriers, and put special restrictions on the sale, confinement, and control of all the dogs which were identified as pit bulls. So, although these bans might comfort individuals who might have had unpleasant experiences with particular breeds, or might have heard of attacks by specific dog breeds in the media, the bans do not effectively regulate the behavior of any breed of dog or their owners. The bans carry with them way too much potential for improper enforcement and the loss of many dogs' lives that are innocent. Inaccurate breed identification by officials could mean that your dog could die just because it looks like a so-called dangerous dog. BSL could be replaced with behavior-based regulations and sanctions if communities wish to effectively control the potential for canine aggression and encourage better owner responsibility. This would mean that dogs would be judged based on their individual personalities and temperaments, not on their breeds. For those of you who don't know, the American Pit Bull Terrier scored an 86.4 out of 100 on the temperament test. America's favorite dog, the Golden Retriever, only scored an 80.6. In conclusion, Breed-specific legislation is not an effective approach to regulating dogs' behavior in communities. It is discriminatory, ineffective, and should be outlawed. Thank you.